The next question, thank you, Mark. Before we move on to the next question, Mark Chamberlain has asked, can we do viewings on HMOs? Now, we're going to talk about moving in to HMOs, but I will touch on the viewing situation. Again, if you can, as we stated, I think HMOs, when you're doing viewings, are the same as any other property. You've got to ensure that you follow the guidelines and that you socially distance if you are going to physically do the viewing. Now, the most appropriate way I would suggest, and we've done this with HMOs in the past, even before the pandemic, was to ensure that you can carry out a virtual viewing. Now, it might be if your property is empty, that's great, and it's been empty for over 72 hours. Fingers crossed there's no virus there. What I might suggest is you do something like a live call on Zoom, if you don't have the software to carry out a 360-degree virtual tour. Like I said, we have let properties on the back of that from overseas students and overseas clients. If you can't do that, it is going to be very, very awkward, because you've got a situation where you've got multiple people living in that property who are sharing the communal area. So what I would suggest you do is follow the guidelines that are set out by government. Now, if you don't have those guidelines, we can obviously facilitate and assist with that. And just ensure you're asking the right questions of the individuals that you're showing around and the individuals in the property and yourself. There are health questionnaires that you can have access to, and I would suggest you do that in advance of the viewing, the day before, and also on the day of the viewing, because the world doesn't stop turning, but we've obviously got to make sure that we're safe. So I hope that sort of gives you some sort of clarity there. Movings are a completely different kettle of fish and a real can of worms, but we'll get onto that later.